Good evening and welcome to the channel. Welcome back and welcome to a new game. A new game on the channel. We're playing a, relatively brand new racing game called Golden Lap. Now, if this looks a little bit similar to Motorsport Manager, you know, you're not far wrong. You're not far off. This is another Motorsport Manager simulator. However, this game is very recent. Only really just came out in the last month or so, maybe in a couple of weeks or so. And this is more of a kind of like a retro kind of throwback type of game where it's still F1, you know, it's still motorsport, but it's kind of a throwback to how motorsport used to be back in the 80s, back when reliability kind of mattered, back when driver skill was still like quite important. I'm not saying it's not now, but it does seem a bit more in the last 10-15 years or so. It's the driver with the best car, not necessarily the car with the best driver. So it's kind of a bit of a callback to a different time. Because see, I tried out, I kind of loaded up a career, but what we're going to do is we're quick going to delete that career because I didn't do anything with it. I just had a little test of the game, and we're going to build a new career. That is my name. And who are we going to go with? So this kind of looks like the Ferrari knockoff. McLaren kind of looks like Lotus. Kind of looks like Williams a little bit. The others, not really sure. I mean, I guess that could be Williams as well. I don't know, but what we're going to do is we're going to go for April Vernier predicted positions. I think we're going to go with Knight just because they're predicted at the bottom. Like, I always like the start just basically being predicted at the bottom, just to see what kind of like progress we can make. So we're going to pick a driver. We've got 30. Actually, no, we've got 14. 12 already spent. So we've got 35 in the budget. Let's say it's 35 million or whatever it is. It's not, of course, but we've got to see. Like, I mean, look at that. That would take up a chunk of the budget. We've got 23 in the budget. There's some that don't cost anything. Look at that. And these stats, privateer, these drivers are surprisingly affordable. Jerk, oh wow, that's not good. Efficient, that's good. Patriot, okay. I don't really want to hire anyone who's a jerk. Rich parents. They don't need the money. That's interesting. We're an American team, but I'm not seeing any American drivers. Kind of. Yeah, well, there is one, but we do not have the money for that. So let's sort it by. I mean, we sort it by cost. We sort it by speed. Anyone up on the higher kind of ranks on the speed and stuff like that always costs a little bit more money. We look at drivers that only cost 1 or 2. Privateer. Mediator. Oh, I don't really want anything that's going to lower the speed chance. And patriotic. Okay, we're going to hire Antonio Vitali as one. No one who's a jerk. Handy. Antoine Morel. Or we could go Antonio Romano and have 2 Antonios, the Italian stallions, in the teams. Yeah, let's go for that. Why not? We're going to have 2 Italian drivers in the team. Oh, look at that. Look at that Tash. Dang. That's something special, that is. Let's choose an engineer. Okay, so we're going to pick an engineer. And we've still got 23 monies to play around with. There's an American. Driver rapport. It's probably not. I mean, for the sake of RP, I think I'm going to go for the American because we are an American team, like I said. So Tyler Johnson with the big old ginger mullet, nice, and then a crew chief, of which we've now got only 7. No, not 7. Sorry, what? No, 13 available to us. Do we go with another American? Is there another American? There's Ace Visconti. Sloppy, nope, okay. And a wet, okay, wet strategist is good, but we don't really want to be picking negative negative traits, you know. So David Hughes, risk taker. Oh, 50% more likely to fail is a bit much. I also don't want the party too hard trait. Manuel. Speed. Niklas Bergstrom with tuning master. That's good. And wet strategist. Okay, I'm going to go for Niklas Bergstrom. Okay, cool. Racing come 1, 2, 3. Race bonus of 5, 4 and above 1. Season bonus. I think we're going to go with metal tubing. Yeah, we'll have to go with metal tubing because we're getting a little bit nice bit of race income. But then also the chance of a little bit more. Okay, look at that. So there's the Italian Ezzolini, LeBron, which sounds like a meme. Chapman, Wayland, Hemlock, Hope, Bancroft, Vernier, April, and Knight. Of course, we are Knight. And we've gone for an Italian driver line up on an American engineer, and a Swedish Niklas Bergstrom as our crew chief. We're going to hit continue. Okay, so we have 6 in the bank right now. I've now got to kind of learn this game a little bit. So this is Vitali's car. And this is Romano's car. We can swap parts around as to which car they're on. Like that. Cool. At the minute, all of the... Build new engine 4. Okay, so it would only cost 4. We don't really want to do that just yet. We'll probably save our money. Go into the first race at Hopkins Boot. Look at the calendar. We've got a race down in Argentina, South Africa, Mutton Shop. That's a great name for a racetrack. I like that. Potenza, Sake, or probably Sake Speedway, if it's in Japan, maybe. Circuit Ernst in Belgium, Nordzet in Netherlands, and the Circuit de Casino in Monaco. So that is Monte Carlo. That's the casino is one of the turns of Monaco, isn't it? Let's hit continue. Okay. Forecast is partly cloudy with a bit of overcast stuff as well. Tires are going to be the soft, the inter, and the wet. It's going to be 36 minutes. The traits. This track is typically in a wet region. Okay. And dangerous. Oh, wow. It's a dangerous track as well. So we're on for... Well, we start with a bit of qualifying. So there's someone who partied a little bit too hard. Okay, so this part of the race is qualifying, where we need to be tuning up cars. So what we're going to do is we're going to send out on the soft tires. No, on the soft tires. So that's track. That looks like track water. And that looks like track temperature, I think. I'm not sure. We do have a bit of time though, of course. So let's actually hit info and see. This is a qualifying session. Its purpose is to determine the order of the cars in the race. You'll be able to tune your cars and start planning your strategy. Remember to send out your drivers using the... Yeah, of course. Okay, so we'll just send out to start. Everyone's on the soft that we can see. So we'll do that as well. We have kind of a dark like kind of car livery. We are 16 and 18 right now. Vitali and Romano, the Italian duo, racing for Knight GP, I suppose. Not sure if that's actually what our race team is called. Let's speed it up ×4. What we're going to do, guys, with this series is, first things first, we're going to see how long it takes to kind of do one race and one qualifying session and stuff like that. If it's a good amount of time, then what we'll do is we'll do one race per episode. But if it's not that long, we can extend it out. Maybe we'll do 2 races an episode and get through the season a little bit faster. So now that everyone's in the pits, what we can do is we can look at the tuning time. So it's kind of like a dice roll, a little bit. It's kind of like a dice roll. So these are the amount of points you have, these little golden tokens here. are they're the points you have to spend. And then what happens is you've got a lottery as to how much you're going to get from it. So if we, for example, we spend 1 here, there's a chance we get 1, 2, or 3 onto our tuning bonus. And this one is an engine one. These 2 are a chassis one. And these 2 are handling or steering. Okay, they say steering. Same thing. So if we did 1 and 3 here, and it went up by 3, there we go. So we got a good deal out of that one. We actually got a good deal. So I never really want to be spending more than I could be getting back. So if I don't want to spend 3, if I'm only going to get the chance of getting 2 back. But also on the other side of that, if you spend 3, you might get 9. You know, so you've got to try and play the game a little bit. Oh, okay, now what? The chance we could get 15 there, or we go for another low one, and we get 2, good. A 2 and a 5, that's good. And that only gave us a 2, but that's all right. Now a 5 and a 5 with a 19 chance, and we get 19. That was a full banger all the way. We got a right nice selection there, and that's what we got to try and do every time. We've got to try and play the game in a way that allows us to get the most from our cars. It's a 2 and a 5. We go for it, we get a 4. That's good. Another 2 and a 5. We've got another 2 and a 5, and that is that. And we did 2, 23, and 16, which is what? A total of 41? 25 plus 16 is 41. So we did 41 on the tuning there. Not too bad. Let's send him back out on a new set of softs and then play the game again. So 1 and a 3 we'll go for. We only got a 1 from that. Same again. Got 2 from that. Not bad. 2 and a 5. We got 4. Lovely. And an 8 that time. Brilliant. We've got a 3 and a 4. So this is an example where we can only spend 3, but the minimum we're going to get is a 4. So it's always worth doing that one. 2 and a 4. 2 and a 5. Got 3 left. We'll do this one and this one. And that time we only managed, you can see, we only managed to get 32 out of that. And it was the same amount of points, I do believe. So it just depends on what you get out of your points, how you spend them and stuff like that. You've got to try and play the game. Obviously, if you take a risk on a really high number, you might get it. You know, you might get it, but you might not. So you've got to play the game. You've got to take the risk on some of those. Now we're on ×4 speed. And we have actually moved up a little bit. We're not at the very back, which isn't so bad. 17th and 19th. We're competing with Steiner and Rosink Vist. Now we've got to play the game again. So that was an improved time by almost a second there. But Moretti and Mack at the front, look at that, leading the way. They are 4 seconds ahead of us. And that's something you wouldn't really see in modern F1. Back when this is set in the 70s, 80s, yes, you would be seeing that because cars were being produced, not going to say like with less technical skills, but just maybe a little bit less technical knowledge of the, you know, at the time. You know, technology has come a long way. So, okay, what are we going to do this time? A 2 and a 4, 2 and a 5, a 1 and a 2, a 1 and a 3, a 3 and a 4, 2 and a 2 that time, or 4 and a 3, but there's a chance for a big one there. Oh, there's not really any easy ones to go with here, so we may as well go for broke. And it worked. We got a big 14 off that one. That was good. That was good. We'll go again, and then we'll do another set of tuning here. So a 4 and a 5 and a 4 and a 5. 4 and a 4. A 2 and a 5. 3 and an 8. And that is actually that lot done already. That was way easier to decide. And this is how the qualifying works. It's a little bit different to the practice that we do in Motorsport Manager. Motorsport Manager has kind of like different ways that it goes about its racing and stuff like that. But look at that. We are set in green sectors. Hopefully that means we move up. We do, up to 13th. Very nice. And now we'll loop back into the pits. And we shall go again. And we just tune up again. We give it another go. We see what we can get. Our lap times are slowly improving. But then again, so is everyone else. So we're actually 5 seconds off the pace right now. 5 seconds. Which is quite a lot. 3 and a 4. We'll take that. 3 and a 3. A 1 and a 3, a 2 and a... Yep, and a 4 and a 5 will have that one big time. Perform a golden tune. Look at that. So we're in the gold on the chassis. You don't want to go into the red because that means you've overtuned. So you don't really want to go into the red. You want to try and get it in that gold perfect, which is difficult. It is difficult to try and get that perfect every time. And a 1 and a 3, a 2 and a 5, 1 and a 4. Let's go for broke here. And we do get it. Got a 9. That wasn't the worst. That was pretty dang good. Another lap. Out we go. And we still got 20 minutes here. So even though we are slowly pushing back down, we're at the bottom again. That next lap will hopefully boost us back up. We're running that lap now. More greens. And we're back up into 12th. So once again, we move up the board. Then everyone else will put in their laps. We might dip down the board again. But we'll go for another set of tunings. So we don't want to mess with that. The chassis got a golden tune. We do not want to mess with that. 2 and a 5. A 1 and a 2. A 1 and a 3. That's a big one. We'll take that. That's a big one as well. And just so we're spending a little bit more on the steering. We don't want to be doing nothing on the steering. Go for that one as well. That's a 4. That's a good one. 3 and a 7. 4 and a 5. Nice. A 3 and a 4. That's also really nice. And then these two. And we're a little bit more balanced on the tuning on Romano's car. But we'll have to see what happens as we exit the pits and go for another set of laps. We are moving back down. You see, we're still 4.5 seconds off the pace. Are we getting green sectors? We are. Nice. Double greens. And back up 11th and 16th for Vitali. So we are able to find more lap time as you progress through the qualification, through the quali sessions. And when we come back into the pits, we can go again. So 5 and a 4. We're going to risk it for a 12. It was good. It was good. 3 and a 9. A 1 and a 3. A 1 and a 2. And we'll do a couple up here. And there we go. So into the 50s on these cars. Not the worst. And then Romano, very close down here. What are we going to do? I'm saying 5 for a 4 and 18. We'll see. 10, not bad. A 5 and a 5. Oh, is there a chance of that overtuning? There is. There is a chance of that overtuning. So we're not going to do it for that one. We're going to go for this one. There's also a chance of that overtuning. And there we go. Another golden tune. That's a double tune. We got another achievement. Sorry. And there we go. We'll probably even get another chance here. Romano will move down the order here as more laps are completed. 13th now. 14th. 15th. But the green sectors are back. We're moving up the field, back into 11th, and Vitali's in 15th. Very nice. Will we get one more set of laps in? I think we will. Romano is proving to be quite good. Quite good indeed. Okay, a 4 and a 5. We've got to go for that. Oh, very close. Oh. We don't want to go into the red. If there's a chance of us going into the red, we don't want to do it. So 1 and a 2. 1 and a 2 over here. We take that one. And that one. And that'll be another golden tune. Now 4 points left. We don't want to go for anything silly there. There we go. That's it. We managed to get a perfect tune on all 3 parts of Johnson's car. Romano, we need a little bit of a catch-up on the chassis. So that's what we're going to focus on, I think. Yes. 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 Big one, hopefully. Do we risk it? We do. We only got 4 for that one. But that's okay. So let's see what Romano can do. Because Romano's actually driving better. But Vitali's car is now golden tuned. Perfectly tuned for this circuit. So let's see what we can do. We're still 5 seconds off. And a whole second off the car in front at the minute. Here we go. On the lap time. Up into 11th. And Vitali and Romano are right next to each other now. They're almost perfectly the same lap time. and only a 0.01 behind Fisher and 0.01 ahead of Fonseca, which is kind of crazy. We won't get the chance to do another lap. That'll be the end of the session. These cars will have to come home. They will not be able... Well, actually, the number 11 might be able to get his lap in. Nope, wasn't able to. And we finished 14th and 15th in our first qualifying session. Not the worst. Not the worst at all. I'm actually quite happy with that. We can see the teams to challenge at the top. We are Knight. We should be at the bottom. We've done really, really well. There is going to be a bit of rain. Oh, there is going to be a bit of rain. It's going to start dry. And then it's going to get wet. And we're going to have to be on it with our strategy. Okay, so. There is, of course, no refueling, I don't think. You've got to try and make your fuel lap the whole length of the race. And if you've got a bit of extra fuel at the end, then you can go for it. Rain is going to build up at about lap 25. Mediums last that long. Hards will last even longer. And they can survive a little bit of rain. The inters work on the middle rain, and then the wet work on the most rain. And that is going to build up. We don't have the forecast beyond lap 29, lap 30 is the last one. But you kind of lose the forecast. So it is something we're going to have to look at. What we're going to do is we're going to go onto the hards and the mediums. And we're going to let Vitali race ahead of the pack for now, ahead of Romano, because he outqualified him. And here we go. The lights are going. We're the only... ooh. Maybe that was the wrong call. We're the only car on the hard tyre. And we've lost positions at the start. Big time. What a bad start that is. We're right at the bottom now. That's not on. Everyone is going with a bit of engine burn to start things off here. Maybe that's something we should have been doing. Let's go for it. Let's go for the engine burn that they're also doing. And we've got back a position on Rinaldi. That's good. We're not at the back anymore. Chasing down 17th. Let's go, Vitali. Let's put a little bit of energy into your tyres as well. Try and get 17th position. So this is obviously a little bit less cinematic than Motorsport Manager. And in a way, it's also a little bit less kind of technical. But it's technical in its own way. There are still things to be worrying about. And Vitali has jumped up a good amount of positions here, pushing on these early tyres. And that is the stress level. Crash chances at a medium. So let's calm it down just a tad. Let's calm it down just a tad. Romano's doing quite well. In fact, we could probably turn your engine mode down as well. Vitali is still gaining positions up there in 11th now. Has really gained a lot. And let's turn that boost down just a little bit. Fuel-wise, we're looking okay. We're going to have quite a lot of fuel left. So we do have the opportunity to burn a little bit more. But maybe we'll wait. Actually, you know what? We won't wait. We're going to go for it now. We're going to try and make up some positions now while it's dry out there. So, Vitali up into 11th. If we click on him, we can zoom in and see as he tries to get 10th. He does get 10th, and now he's got to hold it off. Now he's got to keep it there. And he looks like he's building up a little bit of a gap. Romano, how are you doing? Oh, in a three-way fight, takes 14th position. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. So the stress is building on the drivers. That means they are likely to crash a little bit more. Let's turn down that and calm it down just a bit. Vitali and Romano. It would be nice if we could get them alongside each other, actually. And then kind of calm it down. Okay, we've got to change the fuel burn settings now. You can see, well, we've got more fuel to burn potentially. Romano, let's go for it. Let's try and get 11th place, sorry. Join Vitali and we'll go around as a team, as a pair. That might be better. 2x speed. Let's go. Can you catch him up? No, because Vitali has been overtaken for that 10th place. Okay, let's calm it down again then. But we'll keep the fuel burn going because if it gets wet, we're going to use a little bit less fuel anyway. Take the camera out. The rain is not yet here. These tyres will last a little bit longer. Let's go to... Oh, Vitali's crashed. What? What? No. He's going to DNF. He's already DNF'd. Our first race, and we've got a DNF. Oh, that's rough. That is rough. So now we are focused entirely on Romano. We're hoping we can get some points out of this. Crashed on the home straight, it looks like, as well. Okay, still a minute of yellow flags to go while they clear the track. Not the best, and back out we go. And let's give it a push. Let's try and make some positions here. Romano in 11th place, trying to chase down 10th place, which is Kukinen. He isn't that far behind. You can see that here. He's not far behind him at all. 0.06, 0.31. He's right on his gearbox. Make that overtake. Come on, you can do it. And again, the stress level is high. Right up behind him. There we go. Is that the overtake? It is. The overtake's been done. Now let's calm it down. Get those stress levels down again. You've made the overtake. That's good. We're up into 10th position. Now let's see if we can run away a little bit. As everyone else's tyres are slowly going to kind of fall off a bit. Us on the hard tyre means we might be able to push up the standings just a tad. Okay, we're still burning a little bit of fuel. We're at 3 seconds now behind the car in front. Vitaly, I feel so bad that we lost a DNF in our first race. When like I was saying, reliability is a huge part of the of racing way back when. You know, it is still, but just not as much as it was back then. Okay, let's calm it down. The water is starting to get on the track, but we don't need to pit just yet. Vitaly's out. Romano's having a good race in 10th right now. Does look like he's being chased a little bit, and it might be time. It might be time to pit. I think so. Do we need to go for any repairs? I'm not sure we need to right now. Let's confirm that pit. Looks like we're going to be the first team to make that call, actually. Do we want to do that? Do we want to do that? Is anyone else going in? We're the first. We're the first, and we're going on to the inters. We come out in 16th position, which actually isn't that bad. We look at the fuel right now. We're actually still going to have a good chunk of fuel left. We're going okay. And the tyres won't, obviously the tyres won't last that long, but everyone else is now coming in. They're going straight to the wets. Or maybe we made a mistake here going to the inters. But then again, if we do a couple of laps on the inters, while it's not, you know, not fully, I don't know, fully wet, maybe we make a few positions and then we change to the wets and we just go to the end. There's a chance of that. We're in 14th right now. Not doing too bad. The other... Oh, look at that. There we go. More positions. Up to 11th now because everyone else is pitting. Got a bit of a gap. 5-second gap there. Ahead of Acosta. 5.6 actually. And as long as that number is still kind of chilling out where it is, we don't really need to worry. We'll pit for some wets and then we'll just go to the end. Maybe that'll be the right thing to do. Golden lap. There's a bonus point for fastest lap. Okay, good to know. The gap is still 5.6. We're going well. We're in a nice bit of you know, open track here. We can just keep going till it gets a little bit wetter and that gap starts to come down. We want to try and make that pit stop before that gap actually does start to come down. Still at 5.9 right now. And I think maybe 3 or 4 more laps. Let's burn a bit of fuel. Try and open the gap up a little bit. It's 5.7 right now. 6.3, 6.8, 7.0. There we go. That is better driving. We've opened that gap up by quite a chunk, actually. 8.9, 9.2. Really good driving here. And now we calm it back down again because we don't need that stress level going too far. It's at 11.5. That's exactly what I was after. Opening the gap just a little bit. It does look like we might get lapped quite soon. But really, really impressed with the fact that we did make that gap a lot bigger, which means when we pit, we'll drop only a few positions rather than, 5 or 6 or 7. Yellow flags. La Framboise is gone. Number 19 crashed it. Oh, on the last turn. Okay, we're now, or we should have pitted then. We're going to pit this lap, go on to the wets, and just ride out the rest of this race on the wet tyre. Let's speed things up just a tad. So we're in 10th. We are going to lose a position. Just the one position. Look at that. That's almost perfect. We lost just the one position because of that yellow flag at the right time for us. Okay, now fuel-wise, we've got plenty of fuel in the tank. 4 laps of fuel spare. Now, we've got 12th right behind us, but we don't really need to worry. We can save our tyres just a little bit. Maybe for a lap or two. We're at what lap are we on right now? We're on lap 40, so when it gets to lap 42, which won't be very long, we will take the conserve off and just ride out the rest of this race. We're the only team that's stopped twice so far. Everyone else has stopped just the one time. They can't really be thinking they're going to go the whole race on just one set of wets. Are they? Is that what they're thinking? Yeah, I think we've now basically done what we wanted to do. They're going to have to pit. There's no way they're not going to be able to. So we're going to go to ×4 speed. We're currently sitting in 12th. We might lose positions. That's all right. Other cars are going to have to pit, and we're going to gain position on the track. Down to 13th. It doesn't matter. We're going to gain position when other cars pit. And there we go. There are some cars going into the pits now. There we go. Up into 11th. And there's still 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's another yellow flag. So there's potential for cars to pit. Albert Steiner has crashed. That's a 3rd DNF. Would you believe it? We're up into 10th place right now. Let's slow things down and catch up with where we are. So there's 11th. Just ahead of number 5 there. Acosta is just ahead of number 5. Obviously can't be overtaken until the yellow flag is done. There we are with Romano. Don't need the camera. I mean, that's a nice gap right now. 7.2. Our tyres will actually be taking a nice bit of benefit from the yellow flag period there. Okay, what's the gap now? It's 4.6, 4.4, 4.0, 3.8. It is coming down really quickly. Because we had some blue flags. We got to let them go by. Okay. Fuel-wise, how are we looking? We could burn a little bit, or we could save it. I think we'll save it. Just a little bit, and we'll just keep things as they are right now. The gap is 3.2 to Acosta behind us. 3.1. You can see his driving style. He's been told to push a little bit. We've got such a big gap behind Kekkonen. 25 seconds. There's no real chance of us catching up any of the cars in front. Unless there are, more DNFs, more crashes out there. But at the moment, it's mostly, can we hold on to 10th? And if not, how many positions can we hold on to? Okay, let's burn just a little bit of fuel and try and build that gap a second. We're at 1.3, 1.0. It's come down to 0.08. And it's opened up just a little bit. Back to 1.1, 1.5, 1.6. Okay, back to normal. Every time Acosta gets close, maybe that's when we push these tires a little bit. It's at 1.5. Let's watch this battle because it's going to be very close towards the end of this race. Still 10 laps to go, don't forget. That second safety car didn't really help us out, and that's going to be the position gone. Okay, fine. That's all right. 11th place. First race. Don't forget, first race. DNF in our first race is gonna hurt a little bit, but it just means we've got the only way is up, really. The only way we can go is up. 6.2 is the gap right now. Let's just keep an eye on things. What are the current lap, highlighted lap? We do have a little bit of fuel to burn, so we can do that and try and build the gap just a bit. 5.7. 5.7, 5.6. But that's because he's pushing, you know. They're going for it a little bit more behind us. Campbell's trying to get our position off of us. Yeah, there we go. 6.2. So as they back off, we are able to push on. 6.6. And we're only just behind. I mean, no, wow, look at that. We actually did manage to take Acosta back. Nope, lost it again. That's a bit of a weird one. We weren't really looking for it. Okay, we've done enough of a fuel burn there. In fact, there's still a little bit more to burn. Yeah, even at the way things are currently standing, projected with our fuel burn, and we will have fuel to burn, so we can maybe leave it on overtake mode for a few more laps, potentially all the way to the end. We'll have to see. Okay, 1.6 is what it's at. Let's see if we can get Acosta back. Okay, we're back into 10th. Build a little bit of a gap, just a little bit. 0.5. 0.8. Okay, turn it off again. Oh, there's another. Oh, that's very nice. That's going to get us all the way to the end. Christoph Fischer, unfortunately, another DNF. It's going to give us a couple of laps of kind of breathing room. 3 minutes still, which is what, 2 laps? One more lap, and let's slow it down again. 30 seconds. 2 laps to go. And I reckon we can absolutely go for it at the end here. We've got a 2-second gap. 3.2, actually. On the car behind. I think 10th place is ours. I think we're gonna have 10th place. 1 lap to go. And where's the race leaders? Are they coming around? There they are. There's 1 and 2. They're fighting it out together. And that's the race done. So Moretti and Mac got the fastest lap, but Moretti takes the win. We are going to take 10th. Sorry, we're going to hold on to 10th place. Really well done from Romano there. Really well done. The number of safety cars kind of changes things up a little bit. But adding that inter stop in the middle means we did boost our position by quite a bit. Quite a bit indeed. So we were 2 laps off the leaders. But look at that. A lot of cars were lapped. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. Luigi Moretti takes first. Levi Mack and Jan Schaub takes third. 1 point for us for finishing in 10th. Now that's not too bad. We get a nice bit of money for the income. We beat the race bonus. And that was a point. I didn't realize we were fighting for a point, but we managed to get it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Points in our first race. Would you believe it? And Antonio Vitali, unfortunately, the first car to DNF. We're in 6th. We're in 6th on the constructors after 1 race, and we've got some sponsorship. Okay, sponsor challenge available. That's an interesting one. Finish the race with less than half a lap of fuel left. So we've really got to try and time it, I guess. That's an interesting one. We're on 10 at the minute. We've got 10 in the bank. Go to the garage. What have we got? We could go for a couple of upgrades, or we could just keep saving our money. So the options are upgrade a part as it is. Try and increase the performance and increase the reliability. Or build a new part, which will add performance, but also the reliability is a questionable one. Okay, so that engine would be better, but we're not going to do that just yet. In fact, we're going to keep going. We're going to save our money. Going to look at the standings one more time. We're going to focus on the team standings mostly. But we will, we'll keep an eye on the driver standings as well. There's not very, we're quite a way back. We're competing for points because of good strategy and a little bit of luck with the safety cars. But we're not really at the top of the pile. So we're going to focus on just trying to perform, get good finishes in, try and fight for points if we can. But for the most part, we're not really going to worry about that stuff. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Episode 1 of Golden Lap. It's a new game. It's a new series on the channel. And we will go with 1 race per episode because it's about 25 minutes. Not bad for an episode. And we'll just slowly keep playing. It's a really fun game. I really enjoyed that first race. And hopefully you guys did too. Thank you for watching. I shall catch you next time.